Hi, my name is EJ Massa. Back to the basics. I did some videos on video games and arcades. Boring. Dumb. Let's just make some hot meat for a long time. And yes, you should be turned on. I got some choice beef short ribs from my local butcher shop. They look wonderful. A wonderful wall of meat. I've done beef short ribs for a video before, and they turned out great. But I'm going to go super simple here. I have some Texas Pete Sriracha, my favorite hot sauce. It's sweet, tangy, just the right amount of spice. I usually use it on everything to kick it up a notch. However, for this simple recipe, it's mainly going to be used as a binder. It won't provide that much flavor, just a tangy, spicy hint. Brushed all sides with the sriracha. Then I sprinkled on a Dalmatian rub on all sides, which is 50% kosher salt and 50% black pepper. Completely covered the surface with that rub, and that's all I'm doing. Simple. This ain't no Big Mac turkey or whatever. Although, it could be. No, that's it. I prepared these a few hours before, so these will dry brine in the fridge. And as you can see, the salt has mysteriously disappeared. Apparently absorbed by the meat, and the meat is now a beautiful bright red. Because it's snowy and cold out, I'll use the Weber Summit charcoal grill, which works wonderfully in the New England chill. Look, I'm a poet, and I didn't realize it. Oh, and I'll take this opportunity to point out that the Summit charcoal grill is now called the Weber Summit Kamado. Looks pretty much the same design, but it no longer has a snapjet starter. It has 3 caster wheels instead of the 2 lawnmower wheels and 1 caster in the front that mine has. The deflector plate also ditches the 2 hinges, and it's just one solid circle. All these changes seem to be done to bring the price down, as it comes in at $1,150 instead of the $1,500 that was the MSRP, and I actually paid $1,000. I got it on eBay. I still feel like it should be closer to $1,000, seems slightly overpriced, and now you get less features. I personally prefer the lawnmower wheels because I move my cooker over my lawn quite a bit, and it's much easier than the caster wheel up front. The Snapjet I could take or leave. Over the years it's gotten a bit temperamental. I probably need to clean it out a bit. So taking that out I don't think is that big of a deal. And the version with the table still exists for the same price as before, and that version has a starter. The removal of the hinges on the deflector plate, I don't think that's a big deal either. I don't use them that often. Functionally, my Summit is going strong. It's my most used cooker by far, especially in the cold New England where it's freezing for half the year. It's holding up pretty well, besides the Snapjet being temperamental. I don't regret the purchase even a little bit. I definitely got my money's worth. I can leave it overnight, and it just goes. Like I said, the Snapjet is acting up, so I buried a couple wax cubes in the charcoal and lit them. After 10 minutes or so, the charcoal was ashed over. I nestled the hunk of hickory in there and put on my very filthy deflector plate. And then add the grill grate and the temperature probe, close the lid, set the bottom vent to the smoke setting, and as it comes up to temperature, I open the top vent, and once it started approaching my desired temperature of 250 degrees Fahrenheit, I closed the vent to 1/4 open. Add on those beef short ribs, those 7 bad boys ready for a smoky sauna. And it's rainy, windy, and cold, but this cooker doesn't give a shit. It will maintain that temperature, and it will do it for hours, absolutely no fussing. And I left it in there for 2.5 hours. Oh, and I see you eyeing my drink there. You're probably wondering what it is. No, it's not vodka, it's Slivovitz. It's a plum brandy. So basically a distilled plum wine. It's kind of an acquired taste. My father-in-law is from Croatia, so I drank it with him a bunch of times, and I've grown quite fond of it. We also grilled together quite a bit and swapped notes.
That's like a military thing.
Flamethrower.
Yeah.
It has sort of an almondy taste to it with a whisper of a hint of a bitter, sweet, pruny taste, which I assume is from the plums. An oily mouthfeel, and I can never drink too much of it, but If I'm sick of bourbon, I'll pick up a bottle of this as a palate cleanser. My father-in-law tells me during the German occupation during World War II, the German soldiers would go door to door and they couldn't really speak the language and they would just say, Slivovitz, Slivovitz, and then they would come in, they would be served some Slivovitz. Lots of families distill it, and I believe they still do. And he would add this note, which I'm not sure is true, but he would say that Slivovitz would turn a bad Nazi into a good Nazi. Look, war is complicated. Don't expect it to work on a modern day Nazi. Actually, Edward Norton's a bad example because he turned good in that movie. So after 2.5 hours, the color is perfect. And they look perfect. They smell perfect. So it's time to take them off and wrap them. Again, not doing the complicated braise, just gonna wrap them each individually, nice and tight. No liquid, no nothing. And since the weather has turned to bullshit, it's time to wrap the short ribs on a tray and stick them in my oven at 250 degrees Fahrenheit. As the great Harry Sue says, BTUs are BTUs, especially at this phase where they're wrapped. After another 2.5 hours, they are done. Oh yeah, you can cut into these like butter. Not that great of a smoke ring, but it's the flavor that counts, of course. Very tender, smoky, great flavor. Oh my goodness. So I got a little bit of that smoky fat. Smoky fat is the best, isn't it? You don't really taste the sriracha. It's more like a binder, but you have a little bit of tingly heat, and I don't know if that's from the pepper or the sriracha. Wonderful, beefy, fatty, smoky. Don't need to do much. Salt, pepper, beef? Sometimes that's all you need. Especially the beefy, intense flavor of beef short ribs. So leave a comment below. Like, comment, subscribe. Engagement. Until next time, bye.